What is your comfort drawing? For me, it's not a particular subject, but more of a pattern. To try something a little different with it, I'm going to be making this drawing into a little banner cover image for my Notion. Hello, my name is Jade, and I like to paint with pixels. First thing I had to figure out with this was the canvas size. Notion banners are quite wide, and a quick Google told me that the best size to do was 1500 by 600 pixels. So I made a canvas with the same dimensions, but a bit scaled down so that I could then scale up the final result. To test this out, I drew a border around the edge to see what might get cut off, and a quick text in the center, as I wanted to add a little message to this. And yeah, this is way too big, and this took a few attempts before I actually got the height down. The width actually was pretty bang on, but for some reason the height was just way narrower than what was recommended. I guess because you can reposition it. The final canvas I went for, if y'all want to try it out yourself, is 375 by 62 pixels. Now, on to the fun part, the pattern. The pattern that I like to draw normally reminds me of these snaking vines that are overlapping each other, and the process to make them is super simple. What I do is I get a brush that is quite wide. For this, I think I did 10 pixels, and just start drawing squiggles on the page and sort of overlapping and just kind of put them all over the place. I did my first layer using the darkest color in my palette, as I wanted it to feel like these were almost too far into the shadows to be seen. To keep things a bit easier for the next step, I broke these down into layers. I found out this week that this app has a really cool outline feature, which you can use to outline all of the squiggles really quickly. It also means that you can keep each line an even width, but get the same cool outline effect that I would normally do for vines in some of my flower drawings. Next, which is my favorite part, is adding all of the shadows. And for this, I try not to go too in depth with the placement. I sort of just pick a side and add a solid block of shadow first, and then add the fun dithering effect after. I really like to play around with this dithering pattern, as it reminds me of the shading that you see in comic books. And I like to play around with some of the colors in that pattern as well, because it sort of just helps with the added depth to the final image. While I finish this up, I'll let y'all enjoy the chill music in the background, and we'll be back near the end to add some text and test it all out. Last but not least, we're adding in some text. I wanted this to be sort of a simple reminder to myself to just take my time with things. Not everything needs to be go, 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 as this week has been super hectic, and I've definitely felt the effects of feeling very rushed with all the stuff that I wanted to do. So yeah, just a quick little reminder to just slow down, be present, and try not to rush things. Ooh, I did want to try and fill in some of the gaps. I could do that with even more squiggles, but I tried out this dithering pattern and trying to fill in the entire space, which I didn't vibe with too much, so I opted for these like cute little blobs of the dithering pattern that are dotted about, and I really like how they turned out. The moment of truth is to export this, scale up by 4, and then go into Notion, go to the top of the test page that we made, and hit the add cover and upload button. I didn't capture my first reaction when I did this, but I really like how this turned out. I like how the the lines frame the text in the center and make that stand out, and I really like how the gradient on the dither adds a lot of depth to each of the vines. I even gave this a go with mixing up some of the colors because they reminded me of vines so much, and I quite like the result too. Which one do you like the most? Let me know in the comments. I hope you enjoyed this chilled out video this week. Let me know if you give this pattern a go, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care out there. Goodbye!